Mad Cat Audio.
We are now on Patreon. Our patrons enjoy lots of awesome stuff, so check the show notes for the link. So, this is a really special episode for us at Take What You Need the podcast because this was the first guest that was ever recorded. So, please enjoy my amazing, fantastic cousin, Jaye Vasse, while she navigates magic and motherhood and guiding little beings without a guidebook and healing generational curses, being a confidant, being a friend, and someone who's been so instrumental in my healing journey thus far. I really hope that you enjoy this episode as much as I enjoyed getting to dive deeper into her history and to who she is. And I am so thankful for her presence in this process. So with that, I invite you to get into a nice, comfortable seated position. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes. There is no right or wrong way to show up in this moment. Take a deep breath in the nose and let it out with a sigh through the mouth. And I invite you to come as you are and take what you need. Hi, and welcome to an episode of Take What You Need, the podcast. I am so excited for this episode. The person I'm about to introduce has been so instrumental in my healing and been such a guide and a sister, a friend, and in a lot of ways a mother to me. So without further ado, I'd love to invite Jaye to say hello to our listeners.
Yes. Basically, I just want to say thank you for having me as your first guest. That's extremely big for me because why would anybody want me on their podcast? But then
Oh,
you made me realize why not? So
yes.
here I am.
So Jaye and I are cousins, and it is like the biggest blessing in our bloodline that we are related because we are single-handedly like healing trauma left and right. So Jaye, when did you know that you were witchy or intuitive?
As far as knowing my witchiness and my intuitive side, I've
Mm-hmm.
always loved witchy things.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I would always pretend to be a witch or play with my Barbie dolls and make them have magic powers and things, things that all little girls and little boys wish. Um, when I was about 17, my Aunt Christine took me and my sister to this metaphysical shop where we learned about tarot and oracle cards and numerology, crystals, and things of that nature. Um, it just made me happy. It made me feel complete, and me and my sister would always practice. My family, of course, didn't approve. They
Oh.
would always they would always think, that's kind of demonic or whatever, but of course I would keep it to myself. But basically when my sister actually passed away in March of 2018, and 3 months after that my father passed away. So I think losing them was a big time in my life because it was like a spiritual awakening for me. Like I was lost for a minute and was wondering, how do I connect with them? How do I do this? How do I do that? And just feeling like I was ready to give up, honestly, like, what do I do now? And that's when I started really getting into it. And, it really started with me just talking to them and, not pretending that they were there, but
Yeah.
pretending that they would answer me at least. But it was something that I needed for my grief. And with that, it definitely helped. And I also, that's when I first became a mother. So
Mm.
everything happened at once.
Yeah, oh my gosh, as it often does.
Yeah.
Just a side note, so your sister Taylor and I grew
Mm-hmm.
up together, and
Mm-hmm.
we were really close because we were close in age.
Yes.
And I feel like it really was her passing that really brought you and I together.
Mm-hmm. I was
And
gonna
like,
say that too.
yeah, like it really connected us. And I truly believe that her presence has like fostered our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even like from the grave, but like her presence is always very prevalent for us.
Definitely.
And I remember reaching out to you like over Instagram and just being like, hey, like, I know we haven't talked long, but I just was thinking about you, and I love Taylor, and you and I just kind of were like, hey, I see you, like in this way that maybe like at other family gatherings we didn't, even touch upon.
Mm-hmm.
But then you and I being like, I kind of see you. Like, are you witchy? And
Yeah.
being like, I'm witchy. Are you witchy?
It was like, hey girl, hey.
Literally. And then it was like, honestly, right after that, we talk every day.
Yes, literally, you're like my therapist.
Yeah. Same to you. I
Same,
know. I
yes.
appreciate it. I think I want to touch on that point about grief because you said it was a tool for your grief. And how has it helped you kind of navigate your grief even years later?
Man, well, like I said, I started talking to my past loved ones and my ancestors,
Mm.
just then. That was the first thing I did, and still to this day I still talk to them. I still get confirmation from them. Like I might say, hey, Mama June, which is my grandmother, um am I doing the right thing? Like, please just guide me and tell me what I need to do, or show me what, if I'm going the right way or doing the right thing. And literally her birthday will pop up on the clock, like, you know what I mean, like, or just
Yeah.
randomly I could be scrolling Instagram and there's something that says Mama June, like literally, like, who
Yeah.
does this, who's watching me, like
Right.
doing, and
Right.
throwing this out there for me to see. But
Yeah, my FBI
obviously,
agent.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely how my grief is coming around now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sad anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely, moving forward. It's a
Yes.
good thing. It's
Yeah.
very positive.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think grief is a huge incubator and accelerator even for
Hmm.
stepping you into your spiritual journeys. And
Definitely.
it's usually like most of my biggest spiritual lessons or just even like pushing me forward on my journey have always been birthed out of like a big grief
Hmm.
or a loss. Not
Hmm.
always, but in a lot of ways.
Right.
So this episode is about magic and motherhood. And you are the first person I thought of because
Hmm.
you have three beautiful children. And you also, magic is such a big component in your life and it's
Hmm.
such a guiding force to how you mother, to how you show up in the world. And so this topic would be nothing without you.
Oh, thank you.
So, of course, I was wondering what is your favorite way to incorporate magic in your everyday life?
Oh gosh, I'm such a witchy little woman. Like, it's so weird, and I think it's weird, but it's probably normal to you. But literally almost everything I do has some kind of magic quality about it. So even before this podcast, I said a prayer.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
um Constantly praying. But just anything from me making coffee in the morning, I like to add a little cinnamon, stir clockwise,
Mm-hmm.
speak some positive intentions over my day.
Yes.
uh, I pray for my son on our way to school,
Yeah.
pray for his school. I like to speak to nature. We all ground daily,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as a family.
Oh.
We sing and talk to the moon and tell her good night every night.
Mm.
um, just little things. And depending on the day, I might even do a ritual, like on Thursdays, which is, Jupiter's ruling day.
Mm-hmm.
I might do some money in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Fridays, I do some self love.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday, we might banish some stuff because we got to get rid of some negativity.
I like
So it
that.
just depends on what's going on with my life, and if my cousin might need a little work done. No.
Yeah. Yes, I always need something. It's Jay was the first person to teach me about putting someone in your shoe, and that is my favorite witch tip of all time. Writing someone's name down, folding it away from you, sticking it in your left shoe, and imagining overcoming this difficult situation or whatever it is that's causing you grief. And to this day, it's like put them in your motherfucking shoe. I love it.
Yes, and we do this often.
Often. So, I mean, it's how we protect ourselves, it's how we live. So, I wanted to touch a lot on motherhood as well because you have those three beautiful children. And you mentioned also how with all that grief and that spiritual awakening, you gave birth to your first child all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious as how you incorporate magic into your motherhood. You said you ground as a family, you sing to the moon. And what is it that you're hoping to instill in your children with magic?
Honestly, peacefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it brings me so much peace and so much joy to know that there's something bigger than myself. I definitely want that to, transcend into my children. I want them to know that, it might not always be okay, but it will be okay. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that you can do to kind of help yourself feel a little better too, especially like for myself, because I have anxiety. It calms me down, and I just want them to be able to do the same.
To have
So
tools.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, to have tools to navigate.
Exactly.
I think that's super important.
Yes.
So you and I were raised very differently than you are
Hmm.
raising your children now.
Hmm.
I've always told Jay that she is single-handedly breaking generational trauma and curses when it comes to parenting. Could you talk a little bit about your childhood, if you feel comfortable, and
Oh
just
yeah,
ways in which you're leaving things behind and moving forward in the way you're teaching your children and raising your children?
definitely. Well, first off, I was raised by my mom's sister and her husband. Um, Literally, they were the best parents a kid could ever ask for. Like, I'd never even, like, when somebody asked me, like, what was your trauma from your parents? Like, I can't even think of anything that was traumatic as far as they are concerned.
Right.
Um, Now, however, my biological parents were doing their own thing. Um, because of that, I had a huge sense of abandonment. And, even though I was loved unconditionally and spoiled and, cared for, I still had this hole in my heart that I couldn't understand. And now, as an adult, I know that my parents did the best that they could with what they had. They were there. It just wasn't consistent.
Mm.
So they never missed any important milestones in my life, but where were they for those little things? Like homework and just anything that I needed. Just regular days. But I don't fault them for that. Um, they're there now, or at least my mom's there. My dad just recently passed away, but I've forgiven them, and it wasn't for them; it was for me. So I could move forward. And I love both of them very, very much. Um, I still don't really know how to heal from the abandonment issues, but I do take it one day at a time. Um, it's been hard, harder since I lost my sister and my dad, or my uncle rather. And like I said, my father just passed away in March. So, it's not really like they meant to leave and, make it hurt anymore, but, it still hurts at the end of the day. Um, but I'm a work in progress.
Absolutely.
And I do everything in my power to love on my babies and, be there for them with every little thing. Like I'm not going to be one of those parents that they look back and say my mom wasn't there, or like, where was my mom? What was she doing? No, I'm always there. I'm always on their side, and whatever they need, I'm here, and I pray that I'll be here when they need me for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
So Jay and I are cousins on my dad's side, and I didn't grow up with my dad's side as closely as I did with my mom's side. So I remember just like glimpses of being around my dad's side of the family, and the like harshness in the way that we would talk to each other. And there was often like a lot of like, it just was rough. I remember it feeling very rough. And I'm a super sensitive person, and I was really sensitive as a kid. And the way I see you engage with your children now, you're so soft, you're so patient, there's so much compassion and patience for your kids. And I
Mhm.
was curious where you learned that, because I didn't see that growing up.
Right. And it's so crazy how different, our upbringing was, and how, you saw it one way and I saw it completely different, even though we were related. It
Mm-hmm.
is so different. And, I wish that you could have been raised the way I was raised. And I would have taken you in myself if I could have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody grows from what they go through.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Yeah, I think as adults now it's easier to look at the bigger picture, but I have like such vivid memories from being a kid
Hmm.
and being like, this is so hard and so harsh, and I don't feel loved by these people. So I'm so happy to know that it was just like, I'm glad it was just my perspective and that wasn't from everything, you know?
Hmm. And thank God it wasn't from everyone.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think also, too, I want to comment on your ability to forgive, because it's such a big, prevalent, like when I'm looking at you in this video, so the listeners won't see you, but I can see the peace on your face. I can see the peace in your aura. And you've come to a lot of just forgiveness for people in your life. And I think that's healing. And I think that's created a lot of space for you to be able to talk about it so fondly and to look back and have good memories,
Hmm.
which I think is super important.
Thank you. I mean, it's not easy to forgive always, you know what I mean? But I feel like if I were to hold on to a lot of these things, it would just weigh me down and I would be like crazy,
Yeah,
batshit
yeah,
crazy. But
absolutely.
yeah, but I just choose to let it go. I don't want to hold on to this stuff. And a lot of the times I forget about it too. So it is what it
That's
is, you
nice.
know?
Yeah. You're like, that happened to me? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, in what ways do you see yourself honoring how you were raised with your children, or maybe even doing things a little bit differently with your children?
Well, first of all, I'm present. That's saying a lot. I
Yeah,
just try to be the type of parent that I would want for myself. Um, my aunt and uncle, like I said, they set an excellent example, and I definitely tend to emulate them every chance I get.
that's beautiful. How do you reparent yourself? What's your favorite way to reparent yourself?
Um, Alone time.
Period.
I'm one of those people. I'm definitely a homebody. I'm definitely an introvert, but I can be an extrovert as well. But anytime I get some time to myself and I can listen to music or, journal a little bit, it's hard for me to journal now, I think, because I have the kids. But, when I do get a chance to just breathe and like relax, it comes easier, it flows better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one way.
How do you balance magic and motherhood in your day to day? Because I watch you do it
Um,
with like effortlessness. So I'm just
oh,
curious, like, how you do it.
well, thank you. I don't know. I just do it.
Period.
No, like I said earlier, prayer. I pray a lot. I do a whole lot of communicating with my spirits, my ancestors. especially the archangels. You know, if
Mm.
we're sick, Archangel Raphael, please heal my body, heal my
Mm-hmm.
kids, take this
Mm-hmm.
nasty ass cough away, you know, whatever I need. I do a lot of rituals, even if they're just, you know, setting my crystals out in the moon, under the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like to do smoke cleanses and egg cleanses for me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I cook with love and intention,
Mm.
and just always positive thinking and affirmations. Those are really big for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for instance, my oldest, he tends to be very negative.
Mm-hmm.
He's always complaining, and I don't know where he get it from. um, but I just try to show him that, you got to look on the bright side of things. It might be kind of, crappy, but think of all the blessings that you have instead,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of your shortcomings. And
I hear
I
him,
just
his
tell him
little
it's
voice.
okay. Yeah. I tell him it's okay to feel, his all of his emotions, and, you know, bask in it for a minute, but it's not okay to just sit there and wallow in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we feel all the feels, we acknowledge it, and then we let it
Mm-hmm.
go and figure
Mm-hmm.
out what we can do to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the simplicity of each act because
Mm-hmm.
it makes it attainable and doable, approachable. And I also really love that you're granting permission to feel. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a big one. And to like
Mm-hmm.
be comfortable with big feelings, to be aware of them, to be able to work within them. I think that's so important. And I think like everybody needs to know that, not just, our kids, it's ourselves
Right.
too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Hmm. What would you say your biggest joy about motherhood is?
Ah, man, I love every single thing about motherhood.
Hmm.
Like even the shitty parts. And literal shit, you know what I mean? Like I think I was put on this earth to be a mother, and looking into those three little faces, even when they get on my nerves, like,
Yeah.
and knowing that I created them from my own body is pure magic. I have three autoimmune disorders as well. So I was told once that I could not have children. I took that and I ran with it, obviously, because I have three kids.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show
So
you 3 times over.
exactly. So I don't know. I guess the divine feminine side of me is just overjoyed when I hold them, and I honestly can't even put it into words how much joy they bring me. I could literally be having a shitty day, and they always turn it around with a smile or a hug. My little one, he calls me mama. He sees me and just lights up, mama. And I
Oh,
just I just melt. Like I love everything about it. Like even when it's going crazy, I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You thrive in the chaos.
Hmm. Exactly. And that's one of our family's mottos. We thrive under chaos.
Yeah, this is true. It's in our bloodline, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have children that are Earthside, but we have both suffered a loss of a baby. And I was curious about if you feel comfortable sharing how that's changed your outlook on motherhood or as yourself as a mother or as a woman.
Absolutely. Um, well, like I said, I was told that I couldn't have children, and that was pretty much when it happened, when they told me that I couldn't have kids because I had a miscarriage. And I honestly, I didn't take that in. I didn't take, oh, you can't have kids, and just be like, well, I'm just never going to be a mother. You know, it hurt. And I still think about that baby every chance I get. I think about them often. Um, it's just, it's another loss that we've had in our lives, and it's just something that we you never get over it, really, to be honest. um I've come up with a name for the baby, and I still talk to them. I actually was on a this one psychic that I follow on Instagram, I was on her page, her live, and she just happened to say, something about a baby being with someone's grandmother, and I knew right away that that was my grandma, and she met my baby, when they crossed over, and like I don't know, it was very comforting for me. So I don't know, that's just something that I still cherish in my heart and will always cherish and will always acknowledge too. I have no problem talking about that.
Yeah, we'd honor those babies.
Hmm. And we know that they love us from the other side.
Oh, absolutely. I think I was gonna have a boy. I think I've talked to you
Hmm.
about this, but
Hmm.
he always finds ways to let me know that he's around or loving me or showing up in my life, and yeah, I was forever changed by that loss, and I feel like it deepened me as a person. It deepened me as a woman, how I relate to my mother and other mothers in my life, and just this journey, this very special journey of motherhood. And it's definitely still a very painful thing for me as well. And I'm moving through it. And I've used magic to help me grieve that loss. But it's definitely something that's stayed with me and it will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yes, absolutely. And I've watched you grieve through this loss, and you are doing amazing.
Thank you.
It's rough, and I know so many women that have dealt with the same, and you're not alone. Thank you for always sharing your thoughts with me and, letting me in on this part of your life, especially because we have that in common.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is nicer to not feel so isolated or feel so just like secretive about it, I guess. It's not even shameful, but
Mm-mm.
it feels shameful.
Right.
And like
Like
you question,
taboo.
like, yeah, like my body isn't doing the one thing I want it to do, kind of thing. And it's like, you're not on the same team in a way.
Yeah,
But thank you for always holding space for that for me.
of course.
I often feel like a kindred connection for people that have experienced it, like have experienced a miscarriage or a loss of a child. And it's
Hmm.
such a sadly unifying experience.
Hmm.
And I feel like a deeper spiritual like connection to these people.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you're my sister now. This is like we're in
Yes.
love now. Like we love each
Yes.
other. Thank you for sharing that with me and sharing it with the listeners as well.
Absolutely.
So you've known you wanted to be a mother your whole life?
Oh, girl, yes.
Really?
Like literally always, always, always. I've wanted to be a mother since I was probably like 3 or 4 years old.
No way.
Um, yes. Like ironically, even I remember watching the show Bewitched. Do you remember Bewitched?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on Nick at Night. As a small child, and I remember naming all of my dolls Tabitha, which was the
Uh-huh.
baby on the show. But I was obsessed ever since then.
That's so cute.
You know, it's kind of embarrassing.
No, I love it.
No, but my need to be a mother definitely started there. It's really the only thing about myself that I've ever really known for certain. Like my birthday's in a few days and I'll be what, 36, 37. I don't even know how old I am. That's how old I am.
Period.
And I still don't even know what I want to be when I grow up, but I
Right.
knew that I wanted to be a mom. And when people even ask you, uh, you know, just in casual conversation, how many kids do you want and what genders would you like? I've
Yeah.
always said two boys and a girl, and
Yeah.
in that order.
Yeah.
And I think I manifested my children because that's exactly what I have. I
That's
have two
exactly what you
daughters,
have.
and I mean, two sons, and
Two
I just
sons
had
and a
my daughter.
daughter. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
So,
gosh. That is so powerful. And so cool that you knew. It's like to know yourself so well and to have such a strong sense of like, this is my purpose.
hmm,
Not a lot of people can say that. So that's awesome.
yeah.
And I'm sure your three kids keep you so busy and so alive.
They do.
Yeah. Sweet little Ava.
hmm And she's all over the place now. She's crawling. So,
Is
oh
she?
gosh.
What the heck?
Oh, girl, it was like overnight.
I know. She's on the move.
Yes, she is.
Just like
It's
that's just
crazy.
like us. So yeah.
Yeah, literally, literally.
If you could give advice to a witchy mother, what would your advice be?
Oh gosh. Always trust your instincts and your intuition from the very beginning, even if you don't think you're cut out to be a mom, or that you don't have the natural mothering spirit, just go with your gut. Also, don't be afraid to ask your, spirit or your ancestors for guidance. Like, remember I said that I always ask my grandmother for guidance and I see
Mm-hmm.
her birthday pop up, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
they will answer you and they
Mm-hmm.
will not steer you wrong. So
Yeah.
just definitely always follow your first mind, which my mom always taught me was my God mind. So
Oh, follow your
absolutely.
first mind. Follow your
hmm
God mind.
hmm
I love that. That's really powerful. What would you say is your biggest challenge in motherhood?
My biggest challenge. Well, as of right now, I would say my biggest challenge is probably going to be school. My oldest is 5 and he just started kindergarten. So I mean, right now it's just starting out, so it's not much of a challenge, but I know homework starts soon. And the events are going to come up and more things to add to my plate. And with 2 under 2 and them keeping me busy, it's just going to be a huge juggling act. So thank goodness I have the support of my fiance and my family if I need them. And I know you'll babysit if I need you to.
Anytime I'm around, you know I'm here.
I know.
Anytime. I love to be Auntie Lala Tea Kids. I really admire your lighthearted way and your presence here and talking about these big topics, magic, motherhood. It's not a one size fits all experience for people. And I just love your perspective on it. It's so positive, it's so light. Even when things seem to be hard or devastating or frustrating, I've watched you navigate through so many things with such a grace. And you said at the beginning of this, like, why would anybody want to talk to me about this? And this is exactly why. This is exactly why. You deserve to be heard, and your story deserves to be shared. And I know it will touch the hearts of people and inspire people to lean into their witchiness, find balance between these big purposes, because it's essentially what it is. Like, being magic and being a mother are two big things that we serve. How do you find your balance between like doing your magic in your day to day and then also homework and
Oh
school
gosh.
and pickup and drop and chasing Ava?
Yeah, you know what? Balance has been a really, really big issue for me
Fair,
lately.
fair, fair.
Yeah, especially because, my daughter, she's only 8 months old.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to get the hang of it, still trying to get, everything under wraps and, get a routine going. I think with a routine that will definitely help me balance everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're
Yeah,
starting
routine.
to get into, yes, we're starting
Mm-hmm.
to get into a routine. I get my son up for school the same time every day. He goes to bed the same time every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we shut down our Kindle. We take the Kindles from him and his
Mm-hmm.
brother at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not used to it yet, but they will get
Mm-hmm.
used to it. So I think that's what's gonna really help me balance it out. And I think the more rituals I do for clarity, not only for me,
Mm-hmm.
but for my kids,
Mm-hmm.
I think that will help us as well,
Mm-hmm.
because it's it's hard with these kids and their energy.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just all over the place. And I just want them to be able to focus and listen
Yeah.
and, do what they're supposed to do. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I love that you incorporate them into your practices as well,
hmm
and that you're able to not only like clear yourself, but clear them and also like make way for them as well. and
Hmm.
to see this as like an approachable practice in their day to day. Because you had mentioned also too, like our family thought it was like demonic when we were young, when
Hmm.
in reality it is so light and it's all love.
Hmm.
But I just definitely I love that you can incorporate them as well. And it's like, okay, like we're calling on our archangels together, we're singing to the moon together, and
Hmm.
creating more possibility or just more opportunity and more reach
Yes,
for things beyond.
right. And I'm
Like things,
definitely teaching them all of that.
yes, things beyond. You would
Hmm.
be teaching them things beyond. What is your favorite like tool for magic?
My favorite tool?
Mm-hmm.
I have so many. I love
Mm-hmm.
my tarot and oracle cards. I
Mm-hmm.
love my pendulum. It's probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
I use that for everything. Like if I lose something, is it in here? No.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in here. Then let's see.
That's
So
amazing.
I love my pendulum. I think that's probably
Yes.
my favorite tool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. The creating the yes or no, quieting the mind, letting the pendulum speak. I love that.
absolutely. And the kids, they always want to touch it. So I'm like, nope, your energy is not, it's a little
Yeah.
off. Let's not touch
Yeah.
it. Don't touch mommy's pendulum.
We're gonna cleanse. We're gonna
Yes.
cleanse. Yeah. Who wants to go touch some grass? Yeah.
Exactly. Outside?
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, and I like that you're using your powers for good.
Yes, absolutely. I
Like, as
have
I'm just
to.
imagining, absolutely, but I'm just imagining like getting old, your kids getting older and like bullies or whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna put that little kid in my motherfucking shoe, whatever.
Nope. What I'm gonna do is teach them how to put them in their shoe. Because mommy's got a lot of people in her shoe. No.
Mommy's wearing platforms, yeah.
Okay.
You were just telling me the other day how you dominated something in your life and the magic was so quick,
Yes, it was like overnight, literally overnight. And
which
it
is
made
so
me think like,
cool.
wow, I'm gonna have to do this more often.
Yeah. I'm always saying to her, like, or to you rather, like, use your magic, do your magic. You need more magic in your life
Hmm.
because you're powerful and things just happen. Yes, it's fun to watch. Well, do you have any final thoughts for our listeners?
Um, love each other
Mm,
and be kind. Like it's so easy to just, be in your own thoughts and be in your own world and not really give a crap about anybody else. But
mm-hmm.
literally, if everybody loved each other and everybody was in it to help one another, I
Mm-hmm.
think the world would be a better place. Like seriously.
I
Like
agree.
it's easy to say that and it sounds kind of cliche, but seriously, I think that would work for everyone. Instead of
Absolutely.
worrying about, you know, different races and different
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds and where people
Mm-hmm.
come from and all that stuff, it's not worth it. Just love on each other.
Mm-hmm. My philosophy lately has been we live on a floating rock and none of this matters. Like
Exactly.
like it's all so silly to get caught up in all of this. And it could all be
Exactly.
over tomorrow,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
just love each other and just be present and do good for people and do good for yourself
Exactly.
because it's not that deep.
Right.
If you were any of the major arcana in the tarot, what would you
Hmm.
be
Oh,
and why?
definitely the Empress.
Per. Maddie said me too. Maddie said me
Yes.
too. Okay, why would you be the
Absolutely.
Empress?
'Cause she's a bad bitch. Like, she's ruling shit. She knows what's going on. She knows what to do, what not to do,
Yeah.
and she's that bitch, like I said. Like, like what wouldn't you want to be her? Like,
Literally. Per. Okay, if I were in the major arcana, what would I be?
mhm. Probably the same because we have a fierce both of us, we have a fierce spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen you get fierce. you know, I have seen that other side of you. You're so subtle sometimes, but When Lexi comes out, honey. And I just commend you. I love you so much.
I love you. I was thinking I would either be like the sun or the lovers,
Hmm.
but you're totally right.
Yes,
That's like my soft side. My soft side is like, oh, I would just be I'd be the sun.
the sun.
And you're like, no, you little bitch. Yeah, you're the bad bitch. Yeah, this is true.
Yes, you are the bad bitch. And people better recognize too.
Yeah. Yeah, I do come off very subtly. I try to be
Hmm.
very soft. I try to approach everything with a light touch,
Hmm.
but sometimes you just gotta be,
Yes, absolutely.
Let them know. Well, cousin,
Hmm.
I love you.
I love
This was
you.
such a joy for me, like a dream come true.
Hmm.
Thank you for imparting your wisdom and sharing a piece of you with us. I am truly, truly honored. And I love you and I'm so
I'm the one
grateful.
who's
So thank
honored.
you.
I'm the one who's honored, and I'm just like over the moon. You asked me to do this, and I've been like ecstatic ever since. And I want to thank you so much for giving me this platform, even though I felt like I had nothing to share. But this was so magical and just fluid. Like it just flowed, baby. Like I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. It's so gorgeous. I know you said you didn't have any like services or anything to promote, but you do make magic and you do make beautiful products and things and sprays and sage and wraps and there's so many things that you do. Where would you like people to find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram. My
Okay.
name on there is Bright Wolf, and it's spelled just like it sounds,
Mhm.
Bright Wolf,
Mhm.
WOLF
Mhm.
369.
Mhm.
And I'm always on there. I'm always sharing stories and little witchy
Mhm.
tips. And,
Mhm.
I make jewelry. I make intention jars
Mhm.
and spell jars. And, if you want something, hit me up.
Jay did a cord cutting for me a few years ago,
Hmm.
and it was so impactful and so powerful. And you have so many things to offer, and I know you're downplaying everything, but you have so much power and intention to offer. So I will be putting all of this in the show notes, podcast terminology. And that's where you can find Jay and all of her magic and her witch tips and her inspiration. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I love you so much, and I will
I
text you
love you.
after this.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
again.
right. Bye, baby.
Kisses. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this beautiful episode regarding nourishment and motherhood and spirituality. I hope that you're able to take away some beautiful foundational information and just kind of sit with it and give yourself time to digest and heal. With that, please find Jay on Instagram. Her handle is brightwolf369 for any following questions. I know she mentioned not having anything to share, but she does. She has so much information and guidance and products also that she didn't talk about on the episode. So feel free to reach out to her with any additional guidance or looking for any wisdom because she has a lot to share. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time. Take What You Need, the podcast was created by Lexi Bordeaux and Madeline Doss. Original music and production by Madeline Doss. If you enjoyed this episode, please add it to your library, follow the show, leave us a review, and send it to a friend. It's the best way to spread the healing that you just heard. I invite you to join on Patreon. Patrons of Take What You Need enjoy exclusive updates, minisodes, shoutouts on the show, Reiki sessions, and more. Go to the show notes for the link as well as all the links for our socials. This is a Bad Cat Audio Podcast.